Hello, evening. Just doing a quick audio check to make sure that I'm clear and audible.
Yes, we can hear it. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Hi guys, good evening. Thank you for joining with the session. So we'll be starting in short a couple of minutes. So since the people will join, we'll wait a couple of minutes and then start the session. Hi guys, good evening. First of all, thank you for joining for this session with Codebay. So today we're gonna discuss AI-driven project management and automation for smarter delivery. So thanks again for joining for this session, guys, and hope you guys have a good time and an interactive session and learn a lot of good stuff about project management and how AI is reshaping the IT industry, and in that case, the project management as a role as well. So without further ado, let's start this session, guys. So welcome to the future of the project management, guys. So first, we're gonna meet the speakers for today's session. So today we do have Sanjeevani with us. Thank you very much for joining, Sanjeevani, for this valuable session. So Sanjeevani is an senior project manager at Cisco Labs, and also she do have 7+ years experience in the industry at the moment, and she also visiting a lecturer in regarded to project management and software engineering. And so thank you, Sanjeevani, for joining for this session, and hope we'll have like many good facts and good discussion about project management. And then we do have Sachith Perera with us. So Sachith Perera is senior project manager at Prerive Technologies, and also he has 9+ years industry experience, and like a strong focus when it comes to project management. And Sajid has previous experience in Ascentic, Orange HRM, and like he brings a lot of value as a technical project manager. And hope we have like a good discussion. So thanks again for joining, Sajid. And also I will be also be a part of this discussion. So I'm currently working as a tech lead in Ascentic, and I also do have 6+ years experience in the industry at the moment. And also we do have Padula with us as well. So Padula is currently working as an associate tech lead in Gapstars, and he also have 6+ years experience when it comes to software engineering and architecting high traffic systems. All right, okay, guys. Yeah. So without talking a lot about ourselves, yeah. So first of all, again, welcome Sanjeevani to this webinar. And yeah, Sanjeevani, over to you to start the first few steps of this presentation.
Thank you very much, Diliru. Hope I'm audible
Yes.
to everyone. Okay,
Yeah.
great. So yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for inviting both Sachith and myself here. And it's really great to share our knowledge. And here we see a lot of participants here. That's a great thing. So before I get started, I would like to know a bit about this audience. Like, how many of are from industry? Like, do we have any undergraduates or how about the audience? Diliru we have here right now? Because I see a lot of people joining.
Yes, Sanjay. So we do have undergrads, and also we do have like beginners in the industry as well, and we do have
Okay.
some of the experienced people here as well. Maybe you guys can put some your thoughts into the chats as well to let Sanjeevani know what you guys doing at the moment and what are the experience level as well.
Yeah, exactly that. Because we don't want to have this session as a one-way communication, because we want you all to get engaged with us as well. Ask the questions you want to get clarified. In that way, we can share whatever the information we know, whatever the things we know. So with that, let's get started. Okay, I see messages coming in the chat as well. Okay, IT operations. All right. Correct.
Yes, Sanjeevani, over to you. You can start the session, I think.
Okay. All right. So today we are going to talk about the project management now. So we are going to talk about how we can integrate project management. How we can integrate AI into project management. So that's the main idea. That's the main fact that we are going to talk about here. But before that, since we have a larger crowd here, we want to know why project management, because I see that many people are joining from as IT operations, coming from IT operations, and we have a lot of undergraduates as well here. So why project management? Can someone tell me why you are picking project management and why you are interested in project management before we get started? I think you all can unmute your microphone. No need to just put the messages, but if you're shy to unmute and speak, that's totally fine. So any reason why you're picking project management, not any other fields? Okay, we have SSCs. Any specific reason?
Just unmute yourself and you can interact in this session. So let us know if you can't unmute your microphones. I think you can. So unmute yourself and you can give answers.
Okay, let's see if we have any volunteers to share their ideas. Anyone? Come on, we have 123 people here. So at least one person to share their ideas. Is it work? Oh my God, that's what you think. Okay, all right. Sachith, okay, I think you will be able to add more thoughts there later on. What about the others?
Hi, of course, love to work with people. That's why kind of project manager is interesting.
All right, great. Nice thought. It's my passion to work with people. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
hi,
ahead.
can you hear me, right? Yeah.
Can.
So why basically I'm selecting project management path is when coming to the, I already work as a web developer. So when
Okay.
coming forward, I like to lead a team, and when coming to the web development or development, that's all going to the AI and automation. So anyways, when coming to the project management, the person need to manage a project. It's for the project success. So I like to reach a success. So that's what I'm selecting the project management path.
Okay, great. Good to hear that. And we have a few more comments here. Still researching about what field to select as career. I like to see the overall cycle of the software projects rather than the coding part. Exactly. All right, great. Amazing thoughts, amazing ideas. Love to coordinate with people rather than coding and sitting in a one place a long period of time. Okay, great. Good to know that. Okay. So because I feel like it matches my personality more, like organizing things, communicating with people, and making sure everyone is on the same page. During my university projects, I noticed that I naturally take responsibility for coordinating tasks, checking progress, helping. Amazing. Thanks a lot for sharing all these ideas. Yeah, great thoughts. And also, while you're thinking about your passion, you need to think about the global demand as well, market demand as well, when you are picking a job role in the industry. So let's look at the global market as well. Look at how it varies in the global market, first of all, before we get into the roles and responsibilities of a project manager. So I don't want to throw some random ideas. I want to be specific, and I want to share the information based on the facts we have, based on the researchers done. So this is the global market, and this is the talent gap we have in terms of the project professionals. This is not something I'm telling. This was taken from the PMI organization. So according to the Global Project Management Talent Gap report, which was issued May 2025, there is a gap around 30 million. Okay, we are talking about millions. It's a massive number. And when I say project professionals, don't take me wrong. This is not only about the project managers. Okay. When we talk about project management as a skill, it's something that we can apply across different operational areas, not only by the project managers. So according to this global talent gap, if you look at the high growth scenario, it's 30 million. But still, if you look at the low growth scenario as well, still we have around 23 million gap. So this is the prediction we have as of now in terms of the demand in the market for the project professional. So when I say a project professional, it could be anyone, a project coordinator, scrum master, or even a BA. If you're managing projects in your organization as a BA person, then you're also a project professional. And also if you are an engineering manager, if you are a tech lead who is leading people, who is leading projects, then you falls under to this category. And that's why we have this prediction considering all the operational areas with the project management skills. All right, so this is the prediction. This is the demand we have in the market. And with this demand, of course, there are opportunities in the future, because even though we have AI, we don't stop doing the projects. We are not, we never stop having ideas, right? If we have ideas, that means we execute that ideas. We might be using AI to increase the efficiency, increase the processes, increase the way of working, but still we are having projects. And to us to manage the projects, we still need project professionals. So in terms of the right project management skills and right project management knowledge, there's still a gap. And that is the prediction we have. And if you can go to the next slide, Diliru. And this is something goes across all the regions as well. Okay, not only not related to any specific region. This goes across all the regions. And if you look at this report, this is also issued by the PMI Institute with the Global Talent Report they issued last year. So this is the prediction we actually have. And if you have the right talent, if you have the right mindset, if you have the skill, then of course there will be opportunities in the future, and there won't be a stop mark, or we won't be stopping creating projects, and we won't be stopping executing projects in the future. Still, the demand is there. So first of all, understand that. But for us to get included in that portion, we need to have the right skill set. We need to have the right knowledge in terms of the project management. So that's the requirement we have right now. And with that, let's go to the next one, Diliru. Okay, so when I say project management, it's not only IT as well, okay? This is something that goes across all the industries: hospitality, constructions, education. So in across all the industries, we need to apply the project management, because if you take a institute, education one institute, in that institute also you will have to manage projects. There will be certain projects. So still the project management involvement is there. And also if you look at the construction project management talent gap, there also they have predicted a talent gap by 2035, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, across all the fields, if you're not passionate in IT, but still if you're passionate in working with people, then still there is an opportunity for you, because the demand is still there. With that, let's go to the next one, Diliru. All right, let's talk about the project management evolution first of all. Back then, if you look at the history, the way how we manage projects, the project managers, they used to do the task tracking, and they worked in a very structured way. And also, if you think about the project natures we had back then, it was more predictive. It was more structured. If you have heard about the waterfall life cycle and the agile life cycle, you may know the difference between these two and the hybrid life cycles, right? Okay. So back then we used to do projects mainly involved with the waterfall life cycle. That means we had a structured way of doing everything. We finalize the requirement first, and then we document everything, and then we complete the design. Then only we go to the execution. And it's only after completing the execution, we move into the testing part. And then we deliver the product or the project to the customer or the stakeholder. That's how we used to do it back then. But if you think about the current projects, we can't do the work in that way, right? Because every time the requirements are changing, and people are coming up with different ideas. So the the idea we have right now might not be valid in maybe 2 or 3 months. So we will have to come up with a different idea. So if we stick into the same requirement document, then we will not be having a chance in the market. So we definitely need to change our requirements, and definitely we need to adapt to the situation as well. So that's the growth we have in terms of the project life cycle. So to cater to that growth, cater to that predictable adaptability, so we need to have a different life cycle. Right now, by 2012, we had this agile emergence. So we had the agile life cycle, and with that, after that, we had this hybrid and scaling life cycles, and then we talk about I think there are certain things that we need to change in the slide deck, but that's fine. So right now we are talking about the AI integration into the project management. So this is the evolvement we have in terms of the project management life cycle. Right now, we can't do the work the way how we used to do it in back then. We need to have the adaptability, and we need to have a different set of skills, and we need to have different way of working with people, with the tools we are using. So that adaptability, that agility is there. So this is a quick glance of how the evolution has happened in terms of the project management. And if we can go to the next slide. All right. Now, like I mentioned, the world has already changed. The businesses, it has been evolved, and the concepts, everything has been changed and evolved. And why this matters now? Why we are talking about different responsibilities along with the project management role? Because according to the stats, 77% of the project managers, they say AI can and AI will significantly change the way how we work within 3 years. And this is not something that we are predicting. This has already started, and this is still already happening. So that's why we need to talk about this, and that's why we want to improve our knowledge as project managers, and that's why we need to explore more opportunities and explore things, how we can make processes improved, how we can increase the efficiency. So that's why we want to look at different avenues here. So the projects are more complex. We are integrating AI, and we have different complex ideas right now. So we are working with cross-functional teams right now. Not only that, the remote work culture, if you take that one, so we used to have back then, mainly we have office-based cultures, but now it's not the case. We have remote work culture, and we have the faster delivery expectations. If you look at the sponsors, if we have anyone coming from the BA background, or anyone who is working with customers, you might know that they might, when they come to you with a requirement, they always have high expectations on faster delivery. Especially with this AI integration, they will come to you with a complex project, and they will ask you to deliver it maybe 2 or 3 sprints. That will happen. So how do we manage that expectations? And that is a role of a project manager. And project managers, they have to juggle more than ever before because of the complexity. So the awareness and the knowledge, the skills, everything should be improved in terms of managing projects. And the time is the scariest resource we have. If you look at the typical role of a project manager, we actually spend around 50% of our time on the admin work. We used to do, at least, actually, back then. So we had to do the follow-ups, and we had to share the reports, and we had to actually create the reports, and we had by ourselves, and we had to do everything manually back then. So we spend a lot of time, the project manager, they spend a lot of time, maybe around 54% of their time, most of the time, on operational work and admin tasks. Now, with this AI evolvement, with this AI integration, the most gift given to the project managers is we can save that time. No longer we need to spend our time on these admin tasks, on these operational tasks. So, no longer we need to spend our valuable time on these operationals and admin tasks. So with this integration, with this evolvement, we of course can save our time, a lot of time, and that's a gift, I would say. And AI is the new differentiator. So if you look at the job market as well, you may have, if you are a person who is looking for a job, and if you look at the global market, you may have noticed that in many job advertisement, they are planning to add these AI skill sets. So that has become a requirement right now. So you need to stay updated, and you need to stay curious, and you need to build the right skill set if you want to fit into this market. So that's the main thing. And don't think that you will get a chance in the market if you are not planning to improve yourself, and if you're not planning to develop your mindset and develop your skill set in terms of the project management. Not only in project management, it's applicable across all the fields. Yeah, let's go to the next one. Okay, emerging project management archetype. Earlier, like I mentioned earlier in the previous slide also, we used to be a task tracker. The project management role was more of a task tracker role. We used to send out manual status updates sometimes every sprint. If you're running sprint, maybe if you're running Kanban or anything, that's also it's applicable. But in every project, maybe when you have an iterations, at the end of every iteration, you might have sent status manually, and you used to like most of the project managers, they used to maintain all the rate logs by themselves, and that was also manual task. And the most critical thing is we had to chase people for updates in meetings. So that's the that was the most difficult part back then. Every time we want to get an update from someone, we had to do the follow-ups multiple times. We had to ping them multiple times, and then only we could get an update from them. Maybe if you want to get the current status of the project and what's the work they've been working on. So if you want to get these details, you used to do the follow-ups, multiple follow-ups with them. And then there were a lot of tasks involved with copying and pasting data between spreadsheets. Back then, earlier, project managers, they used Excel sheets. That was something fundamental. Like you of course need to have that fundamental knowledge, but that was heavily used back then. And also when you think about the risk management part, we had to do everything manually back then. And like I said, most of the project managers' time that was invested, or that was wasted, I would say, doing the admin tasks and the operational work. But now, with this evolvement, the archetype has been changed. Now, the project manager has become more of a strategic person. With the involvement of the AI, with the integration of AI into the project manager, we can hand over a lot of these admin tasks done by the project manager to AI. Okay, so if you look at these manual status updates we used to do back then, now we can get this apart from AI to automate these processes. That is only one part. And also, if you think about gathering risk details, the dependencies and assumptions, all these things, we still do manually, but a larger portion of that can be done through AI right now. So what's the idea? Like, what's the benefit? So when we hand that job over to the AI, like I said, we save a lot of time, and then the project manager can focus on the strategy. So, and the other thing is, project manager can focus more on the value delivery. And if you look at the project concept, back then we talk about the outputs. So if we once the project is done, if we deliver an output, then that's it. That was the project. But now we are not talking about outputs actually. It's all about the value delivery. As project managers, it's your responsibility to make sure that you are delivering a value, not an output. All right. So that's the main change that has happened in terms of the project management role. And the other thing is you can use AI dashboards for the reporting. And if you want to get the status update, you can get it through dashboard itself, and you don't want to do multiple follow-ups with different stakeholders, different team members. Everything will be there in a single place, right? So that saves time again, and also that changes the way how you work as a project manager. And interpret AI insight to make ethical decisions. And now, since we are talking about the strategic alignment, so here most of the responsibilities, like one of the responsibilities of a project manager has become as a coach. Now project manager, with this involvement, they put a lot of time and effort in terms of coaching teams and building AI collaboration dynamics, and also governs AI use. So even though we integrate all these AIs and automations into our processes and workflows, still we need to have a governance. So project manager's role has shifted towards these elements, and now we are more of a strategic person, we are more of a coach, we are more of a person who make this environment, create this environment, create a safe environment for the team members to do their own work. And let's go to the next one. Okay. Now, let's talk about how we can, okay. Now we are talking a lot about AI impact on project management now. So let's try to categorize it first of all, how we can use it in project management, all these AI integrations and automations. So the first pillar is the speed. Using the AI integration, using all the automations, we can compress the delivery timeline right now. So like I said, if the project manager spent 1 or 2 days to create the work breakdown structure, WBS, now with the support of AI, we can get it generated within a couple of minutes. So it saves a lot of time. And with that time saving, we can compress, right now we can compress the delivery timeline. That is only one example, okay? And also the real-time sprint planning on blockers and instant meeting summaries. That was that was a pain we had back then actually. If someone has experienced it, when we join a meeting as the project manager, we always need to keep a track on the discussion points. Sometimes when we take notes, we can't concentrate on the meeting, we can't concentrate on the conversation going on there. Now we can hand that over to a meeting notes taker or any sort of AI supporter. Okay, so that saves time. Now the project manager can focus on the discussion, and the project manager can give their inputs to the discussion, and they can set the directions, more of taking notes and creating action items and follow-up notes for the team members. So that saves time, and that compresses the delivery time. That helps you indirectly, that helps you to compress the delivery time as well. And then auto-populated status report. So right now you don't want to waste a lot of time creating manual reports. And you can get the auto-populated reports and everything. And second pillar is the accuracy. When we think about doing certain work, sometimes we have the human errors, right? But using the AI part, getting the support from AI integration, we can reduce the errors, human errors. And also, when we do the estimation, sometimes up to a certain level, human can give a reasonable estimation. But if we can get the support of AI, and if we can get because as human beings, we can't absorb all the data, right? But with the support of AI, we of course can create models, and with their support for the predictions, for the estimations, we can get we can increase the accuracy level there. And then the automation part, so it eliminates the low value manual work always. Whatever the tool you're using in your organization, it doesn't matter. Still, like in most of the organization, in most of the tools they're using, they have integrated these AI capabilities into their workplaces. So if you think about the Jira platform, so they have the Jira automations. So they have a lot of AI capabilities there that can be used by the project managers to automate their manual work processes, flows, and then reduce the time again. And then if you want to get the insights, so for that also, we can use the support of AI. So it helps you to turn the data into forecast and give sort of insights in terms of your data and in terms of your predictions. So you can have the predictive models, flag schedule risk early, and sentiment analysis. It reveals team health trends, and also portfolio AI services across project patterns, and also Power BI, ZBI, Copilot. So all these things can be used by the project managers to get the insights and turn the data into foresights. So these are the key 4 pillars we can have in terms of the AI impact on the project management. Yeah, let's go to the next one. Okay. Just because we have AI, we can't apply AI in everywhere, right? So as the project manager, you need to know where to apply, how to apply it as well. And now you might be thinking, okay, I know that there are tons of tools out there, and how can I apply it? Where to start? How can I start it? So let me simplify it in this way. So if you think about the effort project managers are putting, and also the AI suitability. So let's take the AI suitability as the x-axis and the project manager effort as the y-axis. And if we go across this, there is a spot. I would call it as a sweet spot, because these are the areas that we can automate first. So there are certain tasks where a project manager has to put a lot of effort. And also, if you think about the AI suitability, both these two goes hand in hand. So if you take tasks like risk register drafting and status report generation, so here in these tasks, the project managers, they always have to put a lot of effort. And also, if you think about the AI suitability as well, then you know that there are a lot of tools out there that we can get the support to automate all these things. So this is the sweet part where we can have high ROI, because if the project manager has to put a lot of effort, and if we can save that time using AI, then that means the ROI is higher. Got it? Because for example, let's say that you are creating a agent, all right, AI agent to get this work done. Then as the project manager, you don't want to spend all your time in terms of doing this particular work. Then you save a lot of time, right? So the ROI would be higher. Then the second one is, then the second one is the low PM project manager effort, but still we have the high AI suitability. That is what we can call as the quick wins. For example, so the ticket assignment and the sprint burn down calculation. So these areas, we, as the project manager, we will have to put a sort of a low effort. But still, if you think about the AI integration part, AI suitability part, that is possible. There are a lot of tools out there, and we can easily get it done using AI, right? So this is a quick, even though the ROI value is lower, because the effort as project managers, the effort we are putting, it could be lower, but still we can save our time. All right. So this is a quick win we can have. This is a place where we can start doing the automations or start applying AI when it comes to our project management workflow. And then we have the other one, delegate area, delegate carefully. We have high project manager effort, but if you think about the AI suitability, it has a low aspect, because for example, let's take the stakeholder negotiation. So if you want to do negotiation with the stakeholders, still you need the human involvement there, right? That's a critical part. And also, let's assume that there is a team, there is a conflict between two members in your team. That is okay, sorry. There is a conflict between two members in your team. And if there is a conflict, then you might be able to get the AI support to identify it in a way. But if you want to resolve that conflict, still you need the human involvement there, right? So you can delegate sort of tasks to AI in terms of the identification of conflicts and in terms of gathering data here. But you need to protect this zone, because you need to protect the stakeholder trust. And when you resolve the conflicts among your team members, then you need to make sure that you are taking the right decision. So if you automate that process, and if you take, if you fully hand that over to an AI agent or sort of thing, then we have a doubt about the result we are getting, right? So this is the zone that this is one of the zones that we have to protect, where we need the human involvement. But again, delegate carefully to the AI agents to get the information, to get the right information. If you want to do the negotiation with the stakeholder, you need to gather the data properly. You need to your statements and everything should be backed by data. For that, you don't want to spend a lot of time, but you can delegate that task carefully to an AI agent and get the data and gather some recommendations as well. That can be done. So that is the other zone. And the other one is low project manager effort and low AI suitability. If you look at these one-on-one conversations you need to have with your team members, you might have to spend a lot. You might be spending a little amount of time in your day for the one-on-one conversations, but let's keep it manual for now, because we don't want to over-engineer everything. And this is a place where we need human presence and not the automation. If you automate your one-on-one conversations and let's say you are having engagement events and engagement management, so there you need a bit of an involvement from the human, right? You need a human touch there. So let's keep it aside for now, but look at the sweet spot and look at the quick wins. So look at the areas where you can have higher ROI. All right, so that is where you can start. So when you create your own metrics, this could be vary, right? It depends on the organization to organization. It depends on the person to person as well. It depends on the value and the effort you are putting and the value you are gaining out of that as well. But you can use this as a guidance to understand where you have to get the involvement from the AI in terms of your workflow. I hope it's clear. So the idea is you don't want to over-engineer everything. You don't want to automate everything. First, understand where you have to do it and where you can get the ROI, higher value. And then after that identification, then you can automate the process and you can integrate the AI in that particular areas. All right, next one. I think the same one. We can go to the... Okay. Now let's look at the skill set we need to have project managers in the modern world. This is also taken from one of the reports issued by a reputed organization. If you are planning to become a project manager, one of the institute that should be aware is Project Management Institute. So if you want to get more ideas about that, we can talk about that during the Q&A session. But so according to one of the reports there, so the main skill stack we need for the project managers is something like this. Still, we need to have the risk and uncertainty management. Earlier also, back then also, we talk a lot about risk management. Still, it's a valid skill because as project manager, is one of your responsibilities to identify the risk and mitigate the risk, and also the strategic thinking. That is something that has come with the involvement of the project manager's role. Because like I said earlier, we are right now we are not talking about the task management. We are talking about the value delivery part. When we deliver value, we need to look at the larger picture as the project managers. We need to understand the business. We need to understand where we can bring ROI, and we need to think in the strategic level. So strategic thinking is also one of the skills we need to have as a modern project manager. And the communication part, still valid. Still you need to work with people. Still you need to resolve conflicts. Still you need to do the negotiation part. So the communication, and when you do the communication, you need to understand the power grid of the organization, of the stakeholders as well. How to do the communication, where to do the communication, and what tools to use to do the communication. That all these things comes under the communication skill. And then adaptive delivery, leadership and influencing part, business acumen in the sense like we need to understand the core business. We need to understand the value the business is giving to the customer. So that understanding should be there for the project managers. We are no longer doing only the delivery part. We are no longer doing only the task management and the people management part. Beyond that, project management role has been evolved, and we need to be a strategic thinker. Plus, we need to focus on the value delivery part. And then if you categorize all these things into 3 areas: stakeholder engagement, leadership skills, communication, all these are power skills. When we say power skills, it's like the power the project managers are having. And then the adaptive delivery, risk management, all these are ways of working. And the strategic thinking, business acumen, all these are business acumen, understanding about the business. And where does AI and the data literacy comes in? It applies in everywhere. We don't have a specific area for the AI, specific skill only for the AI and the data literacy. It has been integrated. All the skills we need to have a project manager in the industry with this evolvement and with the modern project management skill stack. So the AI and the data literacy, it goes all around, and it should be integrated across all the areas. So that is the idea. And then let's go to the next one. Okay, I think we need to think about the time as well. So I'll quickly go through all these things. How AI can be, okay, when we talk about the AI, some of the people think it's only the ChatGPT. No, going beyond that, we have a spectrum of AI, like starting from the automation, rule-based automation, it goes till the agentic AI. And in different areas, in different areas in the project management, we are using different elements in this spectrum. So I'm not going to talk about in detail all about this since we have the time constraint as well. But just understand, it's not only about the, it's the AI part. It's not limited only to one area. So for the automation part, as an assistant and as a predictive analytics tool, as a for the sentiment analysis, across all these areas, we can use different elements of AI. So that can be, that is how we use AI in project management. Let's go to the next one. There. Okay, we can skip all these things. I think we'll go to some of the. Okay, let's go to the next one. There. All right. Okay, this is one of the scenarios where we can use AI, the intelligent risk management part. So let's assume this is one scenario. Okay, so in a scenario where a team is 3 weeks from release, and the traditional risk review shows all green, everything is green in the report, but something feels off. The project manager can use AI to dig deeper. They can use AI scans in the Slack messages, and then the burn down alerts and the dependency maps. So if you stick into your gut feelings, and if you use only your project management skills and everything to detect these risks and control these risks, it has a limitation. But going beyond that, using the AI, you can improve that processes, and you can get the support from the AI to do a better job in risk management. So this is one of the scenarios where we can use AI in project management. So let's go to the next one. I think we can skip this example as well. Okay, I'll talk a bit about robo agents. This is one of the agents, like in your company organization, if you are using Jira, this is one of the critical element, I would say, that we can use in the project delivery part. You, as project managers, you can create your own robo agents and get the work done through the robo agents. So, for example, if you want to get the estimations for your upcoming projects, so you can create a robo agent and then feed the data there and then get the results after that. So there are different ways how we can use robo in Jira. So you have the robo search, robo chat, robo agents, and robo in Confluence. Likewise, there are different ways how Atlassian they have facilitated this feature in the Jira. Not only on Jira, it's also in Confluence as well. So yeah, this is how we can use one of the ways how we can use to increase the efficiency of the project delivery. Yeah, let's go to the next one. I think during the Q&A session, we can talk about more if you want more details. Okay, this is an example how we can use the Jira automation, create Jira automations. But yeah, I think if we don't have much time there, we can skip this as well. I think I talked a lot during the initial slides.
No worries, Sanjeevani, you can take your time. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, then so. How we can build an automation role by ourselves. This is I'm not talking in detail. This is a quick overview on that. So if you want to get notifications, or let's say that once the sprint is closed, you want to get a notification about that. So you can simply use Jira automation. That's a very simple example. Okay, beyond that also you can use the Jira automation. So how it works is you set the trigger. That means when something happens, then we set the conditions. For example, if the sprint is started, then we can add a condition, check if X is true. And then we set an action. This is the workflow, high-level workflow we can use in the Jira automation. So without your involvement, if you create, if you create Jira automations without your project management involvement, you can let the board to run itself actually. So you will be getting the required notifications, and those notifications can be triggered to the relevant stakeholders as well. So you don't want to any longer, you don't want to get involved into in these admin tasks. So simple, this is a very simple way how we can automate some of the workflows you are having in your organizations as a project manager. So yeah, example, I'll go through the example as well. Let's say the trigger is the sprint starts, and then we set the condition. Okay, I'll take the second example. Trigger is the status done, and the condition is the issue type, let's say the story type, and then action is notify the QE lead. So that would be a simple automation rule that we can use in our workflow. So likewise, there are different ways how we can use it. Yeah, let's go to the next one. There. Okay. I think since we explained this one, we can move to the next slide. This is the overview. So here you can see a couple of raw agents created in the Jira. So like, for example, you can see the product requirement expert, raw expert, user manual writer. So those are default agents given by Jira, created by Jira. But if you want, as the project managers, you can create your own agents as well. But in your organization, if you are using a different project management tool, I'm pretty sure they also do have their own capabilities. But here I'm specifically talking about the Jira and the Confluence tools. Yeah. And the other thing, so when we create the reports, for example, let's say that you want to analyze the cycle time of the team, and you want to measure the efficiency of the delivery. So how you can do? If you take your usual project management tool like Jira or Microsoft, sometimes the reports that we can get are kind of limited. But going beyond that, if you want to have an analytics aspect, and if you want to analyze the data using different dimensions, there are tools for that as well. So EasyBI and Power BI, these are very powerful analytics tools in your day-to-day life. If you have the access to one of these tools, try using it because it has a lot of capabilities. And the things that we can't measure using the default options available in our project management tools, that can be done using these business analytics, business intelligence tools. So try using this if you have access. I think most probably the free versions are also available if your organizations are not using. But these are kind of skills that you need to have, project manager, because when we create reports, when we want to analyze the data, these are some of the things that we can use in our day-to-day life. So for example, if you use the Jira, EasyBI, it's the analytic tool. So we can get the data from Jira. So if your organization, if they have integrated EasyBI into Jira, then we can get automatically we can populate the data into this BI tool, and through that we can analyze the data. So if you want to analyze the cycle time and the velocity, the basic charts are already available in Jira. But going beyond that, if you want to get the forecast, and if you want to get do the trend analysis, so those things can be done using the BI tools. So these are some of the examples, but going beyond that, in the market, there are a lot of tools that we can use. Yeah, let's go to the next one. Okay. So we talked a bit about the AI usage and the role of a project manager. Now, let's talk about some of the numbers. So there are 40% faster project planning, that is a predicted number. So assistant schedule creation, according to some of the report shared by PMI. So that is the prediction we have, and also the 28% fewer project failures with AI-powered risk monitoring. Because like I said, when we apply our human skills, there's a limitation always. And when we think about the data we can process as human beings, there's a limitation. But going beyond that, using the AI tools, we can leverage a lot of opportunities. So we can see the things that we can that as human beings that we can't identify. So that is where we can get the support from AI. So according to the McKinsey Global Survey 2023, so using the AI with AI-powered risk monitoring, it helps us to reduce the project failures and less time. 65% less time on reporting. So all these are coming from credible sources. All these are coming from data coming from the researches done by the credible institutes. So yeah, these are the numbers we have, and by looking at this, we understand, okay, of course there is a benefit of using AI in project management, and there are a lot of ways how we can save our time, and that time that we save, we can invest in a different area in project management, especially in strategic planning, and especially in process improvement. So in these areas, we can apply our skill set and our time. Yeah, let's go to the next one. Okay. Now, there are a lot of tools out there, tons of agents that we can create. But as project managers, you need to have bit of a responsibilities when it comes to using these AI tools. So you need to be ethical AI user, and you are responsible for the data, organizational data, and data privacy. It has become a concern by many organizations. So even though you know that there are a lot of tools out there, if you are working for an organization, even if you are as an entrepreneur or someone, that doesn't matter. You always think about the data privacy, and you are responsible for that as the project manager. Not only as a project manager, if you are working, it's your own data or it's your organization's data. You have the responsibility to think about the privacy and the AI hallucinations. So you may have seen AI will give wrong answers very confidently. That happens most of the time, right? So that is where we need human involvement to verify this information we are getting from AI sources. And the bias in AI tools. Have you heard about sycophancy? Something that Anthropic, I think they have shared a video about that. So sometimes the AI will give the information that you like to hear. Information in a way that you like to hear. So that happens. And also when you get certain information that has a bias as well. So you need to think about all these things as well. And over-reliance, transparency, accountability. These are some of the areas that you need to be responsible of as a project manager, and think about the ethical AI use as a project manager, because you are not just like I said, you are not just a task tracker or a coordinator or anyone. So you have to play a role bigger than that as a project manager. And if you are planning to save your time by integrating any of these AI tools, think a lot about that before you start using it, and especially the privacy part and the data that you are getting from that. So think about all these things before you use or apply any sort of AI integration into your workflow. Yeah, let's go to the next one. Okay, so what are the key takeaways we have? The first thing is AI is just a tool, it's the tool, it's not a threat to project managers. And of course, the project managers who use AI, they are already delivering better results, because using all these AI tools, you can save time and you can invest your time in better ways in terms of improving the way of working. And if you want to start using AI, and if you want to integrate AI into our workflows, start it small. You don't want to start creating agent or anyone, create a model or agent first, but just start small. And you don't want to know everything as well. Pick one AI tool and use it on a real task, and then see how it goes. Okay, rest of the things, yeah, these are some of the things that you can take away. Yeah, I think with that, I'm done with the presentation part, Diliru. If you
Yeah.
have any questions, I think we can discuss it later on. I think I took a lot of time. Sorry about that.
No worries. Thank you very much, Sanjeevani. That's a very valuable session, and you took us explained a lot of things and shared a lot of knowledge with us. Thank you very much for that. So guys, yeah. So after this, we do have the panel session coming up. So the one you've been waiting for. So yeah. Let me move to the next slide. So we do have like a bit of an announcement to make as well. So we do have an bootcamp coming up for project management. So we do gonna cover up project management like end to end with AI driven in 10 weeks. So this would be the structure you've been working on. So in the week 1, you're going to talk about project basics, roles and life cycles, and then week 2, agile methodologies, sprint planning and execution tools, and then in the week 4, project initiation, week 5, planning, and in the week 6, leadership skills and stakeholder management, and also in week 7, issue handling, change management and all. In week 8, we're going to talk about AI tool and automation. And in the week 9, we're going to talk about project closure, handover, and final presentations. These kind of things you have to have an experience as a project manager. And finally, how you have to make reporting, KPIs, and project dashboards. So all these things we're going to cover through over a period of 10 weeks. And at the end of 10 weeks, you will be like a better project manager and well-equipped project manager in that sense. Yeah. So these are the artifacts we're going to build during this bootcamp. So if you are a project manager, if you are a newcomer to the industry, or you are like at the moment you are like in a career transition, or in that case, if you are like a senior software engineer trying to move into project management or something like that, you have to have these kind of artifacts in your knowledge base. So as a project manager, you have to showcase these skills. You have to adapt to these things, and you have to like manage these kind of things during a project. So we're gonna talk these kind of things in our bootcamp as well. And yeah, so let's meet the lead mentor of the bootcamp. Yes. Yeah. So Sanjeevani will be leading the bootcamp with you guys. So she's very experienced and do have a very good knowledge about project management and very good amount of experience. So she'll share those experiences and knowledges with you guys during these 10 weeks of period. And why choose this bootcamp? So it's led by experts, and we do focus on hands-on industry focused training, and you can gain insider knowledge, build portfolios, and also train with the industry experts as well. So the additional benefits of these bootcamps would be one-to-one mentorships and industry expert guidance, and also the lifetime access to the resource as well. Yeah, so these are some of our previous one-to-one mentoring sessions. So at the end of bootcamp, you will be getting a certification and a digital badge to add your LinkedIn profiles and to showcase your knowledge as well. Yeah, so your success is awaiting here in this bootcamp. So this would be the registration process. So you have to go and fill out a registration. And after that, you will be having one consultation session, and then you can confirm the enrollment and finally the payment as well. Yeah, so if you haven't registered already, guys, this is chance to register. So you can scan this QR and register to the bootcamp now, right? So yeah, so the link is in the chat as well. So at the moment it is offering in 36,000 rupees, because we do have a 40% offer, introductory offer going on. So those details are here, and these are the FAQs we do have about the bootcamp. So the sessions will be held on Wednesdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and you will get recording at the end of each class. And also, like, we'll be expecting you to be interactive and stay interactive during the sessions as well. All right. Yeah, that would be it, guys. And let's start the panel discussion without delaying further ado. Yeah. So for the panel discussion, we do have Sachith, Sanjeevani, and myself and Padula to start this panel discussion. Sachith, welcome back. Hope you're there.
Hello, hi, good to be here.
Yeah. And Padula.
Yeah, hi all.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So everyone is here. So yeah, we can go for the panel discussion. So in this panel discussion, guys, we're gonna talk you through what are the new things in project management. What are the new trends and some interesting facts. Yeah. So we'll start by motivation and stakeholder management. Yeah, I think Sajid, you can start the panel discussion and give us some facts and your thoughts about this topic.
Yeah, thank you very much, Diliru, and thank you again for inviting me for this session. And it's a really big crowd, so exciting to see everyone. And I saw when Sanjeevani was delivering her session, she explained about asked people about the various areas that they were working in, and it was great to see that they were working already professionals or undergraduates. And that's really exciting to see the level of motivation everyone has. So in terms of motivation, I think for project management, I think for project managers, basically, it's really important that you are basically playing a leadership role in a project. So as Sanjeevani explained, it can be IT or it can be non-IT. So project managers are not sort of defined by the industry. So that way, when you are playing that leadership role, it's really important that you keep the team morale high, because the fact that you are working with people and you're not working with a bunch of machines, you are able to keep them fixed on a certain deadline or a specific goal that we are trying to achieve. And it's really important that you make sure that everyone is fully aware of where we are working towards, why we are doing certain things, and also it's important to celebrate certain wins. So it's really critical. That part is really critical. You have to sort of understand where you achieve certain things. Let's say someone in your team did a really successful and a great demo, and the client loved it. That means it's time for celebration. You have to take some time and then celebrate that success. Maybe you released a new version of your application or launched a new project. Great. So it's some time for you to celebrate. So those are really important factors when it comes to motivation. Motivation is like an important factor when it comes to projects. And I believe when you're working with people, you have to keep them motivated towards achieving certain things. And I think it just goes a long way in a project.
Yeah, yeah, the great initiative. Also, Sanjeevani, I do have a question for you. Like when it comes to like the stakeholder managing, we all know like it's kind of a hard thing to do in the projects, right? So how do you identify like this is like a high influence stakeholder in the project and he's a low influence stakeholder, and how do you manage those different aspects from the stakeholders and the conflicts between the engineering teams and the stakeholders as well?
Yeah. So yeah, of course. So stakeholder management, it's a critical part we have in project management role. So like Sachith mentioned, we are working with people at the end of the day. So we need to understand their thought processes, and we need to understand their power level, and we need to understand how much influence they can have on our projects. So all these things, as a project manager, you need to understand before you start any sort of a project. And that is where you have to apply your project management knowledge and tools and techniques. All right. So before we kick off any sort of a project, the first thing, let's say that you got the authorization of the project, you got the project as the project manager. The moment you got the project, the very first thing you need to do is understand the stakeholders who are involved in this project, and what are the teams involved in this project. So how do we identify that? There are different documentations that we can refer to. So we can, if you have a project, if you have a project charter, then in your organization, if you're using a project charter, you can refer to project charter. And if you have a business documentations, a business case, or any benefit management plan or anything in your organization, you can refer to all these documentations and understand who the stakeholders are. All right. So because the very first step is identifying the stakeholders, because only through the stakeholders you can identify the risk you are having in your project, or any dependencies or anything that can be identified only through the stakeholders, because you have to talk to the people and get their inputs. So refer to the documentations initially for you to get an idea about the project managers, then list down all the stakeholders, and then you need to do a bit of a research about them. If you have worked with this stakeholder, let's say there's a director, and you have done a project with that director earlier, and he's a bit of a troublemaker, you know that as a project manager, then you need to know how you are going to tackle it, right? You have to come up with a plan for that. So document it, because you don't want to keep it in your mind. Just document it. Go ahead and document it and keep it to yourself. Don't share these details with anyone. Okay, that's the ethical part when you do the stakeholder management. When you list down, or when you understand the stakeholders and their power grids and their influences and their engagement level, keep it to your level. That's a confidential document you have within yourself. So refer to all the document, like external documentation and internal documentations, and list down the stakeholders, identify their influence level and the power level they are having, and also their engagement level. Then create an action plan based on these elements. So that's how we basically do the stakeholder management. And coming to the team conflict management part, still that is also stakeholder, because when we say stakeholder, it's not only the sponsors, or it's not only the directors or the leadership. Everyone who can impact the project, who get impacted by the project, everyone we consider as stakeholders. Even your team members, they are also stakeholders. They are downward. We can theoretically we consider them as downward stakeholders, because they can make an impact in a lower level in terms of the project. So identify all these things, and then when you work with the teams, and when you try to resolve the conflicts between two team members, you can't use the same approach to everyone. You need to have the EI. You need to have the emotional intelligence. Know about yourself, know your emotional status, and also you have to know about their emotional status as well. They might be coming from different backgrounds, and also there could be a reason as to why they are trying to build a conflict. So understand all these things. That's why you need to have the EI part, EQ part, and use all these things, and understand the root cause first. Before take any actions, when you see a conflict, before you take any actions, understand the root cause, then come up with the action plan, and then resolve the conflict. So that's the main basic approach that you can take, Diliru.
Yeah. Thank you for the detailed answer, Sanjeevani. And also just a reminder for the participants, guys, you can unmute yourself and shoot your questions as well. And if not, you can put them in the chat. So Sachith and Sanjeevani will more than happy to answer those things as well while we are going through the discussions as well. Yeah. So next, we have an interesting topic like vision communication and POC development using AI. And I think Sachith and myself had an interesting discussion a couple of weeks back. So he basically said okay, now we can, as project managers, develop a POC. We don't have to rely on the software engineers, guys, right? So yeah, that's a really interesting aspect. So what are your thoughts, guys? When it comes to especially the POC development. So usually previously when you develop a POC, you have to wait certain period of time, and you have to communicate back and forth couple of times between you have to communicate that to the engineering team, and then they are communicating something else. So those rounds are more simplifying nowadays. So how do you think how will this shape the project management and IT as an industry?
I think I would like to take take the opportunity in answering this question. So basically, I think we are more or less headed towards, if you think about it like from a grand scale of things, I think we are more or less headed towards an area where it's not really difficult to develop something. Like back in the day, developers and technical people who are very much fluent in their specific technical areas were considered really high and then regarded really high in specific industries. But now with AI, what is happening is we are seeing this shift where it doesn't really matter about what's the product that you're launching. Like it's like, for example, back in the day, if you look at all the successful applications that we see today, which is, let's say, Amazon or Facebook or whatever the biggest application that you see nowadays, those were like really revolutionary ideas, and at the time they weren't fulfilled. But now what we are seeing is we are seeing a shift where there are, for example, many of the problems that we are facing, we have a solution in technical wise. Like for example, if we take the Facebook example again, Facebook was filling a gap in the society of where people didn't have means of communicating with each other. And seeing ads is a byproduct of that. But that's the basic gap that it was trying to fill. But what we are seeing nowadays is that the most of the gaps in terms of technical solutions are getting filled, and they're getting filled at a much faster rate than ever before. So what we are seeing right now is people with new ideas, with new innovative solutions to existing problems are the people who are going to win in this particular race. So when you have an idea, it doesn't really matter that you need to assemble a set of developers or a set of engineers to work on that particular idea, but you can actually start with something small. You can take maybe a Claude, for example, build the application that you want using Claude, and then launch it and see whether it works. So here in the slide it says POC, proof of concept, which is something that we do with our projects also. Before investing millions into large scale projects, some of our customers ask us to build POCs, proof of concepts, just to show that this idea actually works. If it doesn't work, we scrap it, we move on. Likewise, I feel like with the advent of AI, we can afford to make many mistakes. So we can launch things and make sure that they fail. And sorry, not make sure that they fail, we learn from it, right? We understand where it failed, and then we use those learnings to build the next version, or maybe scrap that idea entirely and then focus on something else. So this, with the advent of AI, what we are seeing is this initial idea of proof of concept is growing rapidly. Like for example, me as a project manager back in the day, it was very difficult for me to show ideas that I had visually in terms of through an application or a front end way, right, through development. But now I can easily transfer my thoughts into Claude or whatever tool that we are using, and then ChatGPT or whatever, and then it can spit out the application really fast. Then what happens is we can show this particular application to the customer, get the real-time feedback, and then change things accordingly. So there are what I have seen and experienced personally is previously if we took months of development, now we can do it within a couple of hours. We can refine it and show, and then get the feedback, and then move to actual development. So that is, I think, something that we have to keep in mind, and something that since there are a lot of maybe young professionals here, if you have ideas that you help to launch, make sure that you launch it using AI, because then it's easy for you to change things and move things here and there. So that's really important. And if you're failing, you have to fail fast. So the faster you fail, the more you learn. So these are really important points that I'm seeing in the paradigm shift in terms of AI in the project management as well as AI in the practical usage in the entire industry right now.
Yeah, thanks, Sachith. And also, Sanjeevani, since you're working in large scale companies, right? You have worked with large scale companies and these Fortune 500 companies, right? So when it comes to those level of things, right? What are the common pitfalls you guys trying to avoid when it comes to these kind of POC development or such things? Sanjeevani, you're on mute. Sorry.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. So main thing is we try to avoid over engineering when it comes to creating POCs, especially when you think about the larger organizations. So that's one of the things. And other than that, I think one thing I want to touch upon is about the security part, because when you are building out certain things, sometimes in large organizations we are not allowed to use all the tools we are having in the market. So one thing is when we are building any sort of a PLC or anything, we need to use the tools that have been governed by within the organization. That's the main critical part. And there are enterprise level AI tools which are governed by some of the organizations. So we need to make sure that we are using the authorized tools, and we make the we create any sort of a POCs using all these authorized tools. So, and the main pitfall was not going we need to avoid over engineering, because if we put a lot of money, because if you think about the subscriptions, AI subscriptions as well, it's not a small amount that we are paying for the subscriptions, AI tools. That's something that we have to consider, and the giving the access to employees as well when it comes to initial discovery part as well. Sometimes it's not feasible to give the access to all the engineers in the organization. Sometimes we have to limit the access as well. So in that case, when we try to create POCs, we need to have as human beings, first we need to finalize our ideas even before we going for a POC, even before we create a POC, and then we need to do it in a meaningful way, in a way how we can get a higher ROI as well. Because thinking about the payments, thinking about the billing processes as well, the budget part as well, we need to be mindful on that as well. So yeah, there.
Yes, Sanjeevani. Yeah, thank you for that. And with that, I think we can move to the next slide. Yeah. So tackling projects in the modern AI era. So Sanjeevani, so what are your thoughts on that? We know tackling projects used to be very how do you say? We had to do a lot of manual work, right? We had to do a bunch of documents when we initiating a project. When it comes to user stories, we had to write it each by hand, and so on and so on, right? It's took a lot of time and took a lot of manual work to tackling some kind of initiating a project and so on and so on. So how this AI era has impacted those initial project part, and also reframing the project life cycle as well.
Yeah. So like I mentioned earlier, AI is something that we can integrate it across all the project life cycles. So if you look at the planning part, even before the planning, we do the initiation part now. So we do the initiation, and even before the initiation, we have a pre-initiation for the discovery part, which is sometimes done by the feature owners, the product managers, and now business analysts. So during that part also, sometimes we need to go and help as the project managers. So So if you look at starting from the pre-initiation till we go to the closure, even beyond that, when we think about the hypercare closure as well, when you think about this entire life cycle, in each and every phase, we can use the AI part to reduce the timing. So we can, of course, compress the timeline using the delivery timeline, overall timeline using the AI integration part. And most of the work done by manually handled by the project managers, now we can automate, and we can focus on other things like creating visions and creating improving processes and thinking about the value delivery part. And so we can shorten the life cycle, and also not only that, we can accelerate the ideation part as well, because now using these models, AI models, we can store the data and we can pick the best project to get the highest ROI as well. So when we do the ideation, to accelerate the ideations, we can integrate into the life cycle. And testing part, I think heavily it's used in the testing part nowadays in almost like all the organizations. We can reduce a lot of amount of effort done for the testing part using the automations and the AI integration. So it directly impacts the life cycle. And the other thing is, when it comes to the project management part, Diliru, I think just since we can shorten the life cycle of a project right now, we spend a less time to complete a project now. In that case, as the project managers, let's say if I handled only 5 projects back then, now I might be able to handle 8 or 10 projects. So that's the advantage we are having. Just because we can reduce the timeline in a project, it doesn't mean that the project managers are not getting work, or their involvement is getting irrelevant or something. So what really happens in the industry is they are getting more work, like they can complete more work because of this time reduction and efficiency that we can have using the AI. And also especially for the decision making part, that has done a major impact. Now when we do the decision making, we can do the fact-based decisions, and we can create the BI reports, and we can analyze the data properly, and we can do the predictions as well. When we do the estimations, we can look at all the historical similar type of projects that we have done previously, and based on that decision using AI models, now we can predict, okay, this much of time would be invested in this type of a project. So that prediction and the estimation part can be done using this. So when we tackle projects in the modern era, main thing is we obviously can reduce the time, and it completely changes the way how we work and the way how we involve into the project part. And also rather depending on the human intuition, we can make the decisions, fact-based decisions most of the time. So yeah, that really changes the way of working, not only for the project managers, but also for all the engineers and all the stakeholders who get involved in the project.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sanjeevani. So I do have one question for, like, I think Sachith and Sanjeevani for both. Like one of the things like us engineers like have concern more and more. I think Padula can have an input on this as well. So with the usage of AI, most of the guys are talking about, okay, AI is using technical debt is there. So what do you guys think with these technical debt is like hanging around with the like over usage of AI? What can happen to the project life cycles? Like, yes, we can deliver faster. What about all the bugs and hidden security defects? And I think Padula can have Padula should have an answer to this as well. And also Sachith. Yeah.
Yeah, so in nowadays we are mainly using the AI tools for doing the development, as you said. So yeah, based on that one, we are getting a lot of requirements from the stakeholder side as well. So because of that, we need to heavily use the AI, because they also need to integrate some AI features for their product and the services as well. So based on that one, anyway, we need to use certain level of AI usage in our project. Based on that one, when it's come to the like requirements thing, Sachit, so what do you think, how we can like adapt those things for the project management?
Yeah, so basically to answer the technical debt question, I think that also opens up another avenue for business also, like especially since we are in the work of, especially since we are in the industry of solving problems, right? This is another problem that we can solve as professionals. So the number of projects that there is a subset of projects that are coming in for IT organizations that is to clean up technical debt. So that's again one area that people are focusing on. So there, what we see is, of course, these projects have been successful in going to the market first, getting the market share, and then now they are figuring out, okay, we have a bunch of users, but we have scalability issues, we have security issues, like you mentioned, those kind of things are there. So I think what we should do is, the ideal approach here is when you are using AI, when you are using any tool, right? Even if you are using a novel tool and things, especially AI being this early in the development lifecycle, what we should do is we should use it in moderation with the hybrid approach. So what we have seen is the most effective way that we have used to reduce these technical debt kind of scenarios is we sort of use it in moderation, where we combine that with another developer. So we don't necessarily push that code out unless we get it reviewed through a human engineer. Otherwise, what we have seen is it could cause some issues. So I think finding that right balance takes a bit of time. So you need to like test and see which works and what doesn't work. So those are things that you have to figure out within your project, and depending on the scale of your project. So that's one area. And another thing which I think Padula brought up is about requirements, right? So requirement side, I saw a comment in the chat as well earlier. I can't see that comment for some reason now. I think it was talking about scope creep, which is about.
Yes, we do have a question, I think, related to that. So one of the guys, Ashin, has asked like how we handle request arise middle of sprint. For example, when a client frequently introduce new changes, even UI changes. So yeah.
Yeah, so we move on a little bit away from the AI part there. So I mean, I'll incorporate my AI into the answer as well. So basically, this is called scope creep. This is a real thing that happens with projects. Sanjeevani, everyone sort of faces this problem on a day-to-day basis. We figure out, we make a nice project plan, we present it, we agree it, we say, okay, we put all the checks and balances, we sign it off, and then we start developing, and then there are things that changes. So I did a bit of a thinking there, why this happens. It's not something we should oppose, right? It's not something that we should reject, because why this happens is because we have to think as a business owner, right? Why these things happen is because as a project sponsor, the business owners themselves are going through maybe an industrial change, right? Maybe the market is shifting. Maybe what we thought initially is going to work out is not going to work out, because there may be a competitor in the area, in the industry, who just joined the industry. So those kind of paradigms, like those kind of shifts can happen. So it's important for you to adapt to those. So what we should do is, the practical answer for this kind of a problem that was raised in the chat is to, you take the next set of changes, you do a re-estimation and see whether you can incorporate those changes and how critical they are depending on your priority matrix, and then figure out whether you can fit that in your current sprint or whatever work that you're going to deliver in the current release. If not, you push it to the next sprint if it's not really that important. That's a practical answer. But how you avoid these kind of things using AI is you can create some personas depending on your project stakeholders, and you can actually predict these kind of these changes before they happen. So in the requirement stages, you can actually ask the questions that you think they might bring it up during development, and then clarify those and incorporate that in the initial stages, so you never have to face those during development. So that's, I believe, how we can come across that. I think I covered a lot of areas, so I hand it over to Sanjeevani to share her thoughts as well.
Yeah, I think Sachith, you pretty much covered everything. So this is not something we can't have a single answer for that. That's something that we have to consider case by case. Like Sachith mentioned, we need to first understand the personas of the stakeholders, and of course, there is a reason. And being a project manager, your role is not to support any party. Like let's say that you are more you have a strong connection with your engineering teams, but just because you're having a strong connection with your engineering team, it doesn't mean that you have to be biased to the engineering teams. Let's say that engineers are telling that, okay, we can't take that change, we don't want to do that change, we have done all the analysis and everything, we don't want to make any changes. So being more biased to the engineering team, if you try to take their side in that situation, that's not the ideal way how you should manage as a project manager that situation. So you need to be unbiased in that situation, and you need to understand it. You like Sachith mentioned, you need to understand why this change and what they are expecting out of that. And the main thing is you need to do an impact analysis along with the team. Do an impact analysis. Okay, if we do this is the option 1, this is the option 2. Likewise, go to the customer. Don't say no to any customers or any stakeholders. Your role is to balance everyone, and that's where the experience comes into play. More you do the projects, more you learn from that, and then you will start changing the way how you work with the people. So never say no to any stakeholder. Try to understand the impact and go ahead with go to the stakeholder with the options. Okay, we can do this, but this is the impact that can happen. We will have to take more time to do the development. So have that justification before you go to the stakeholder. Then they're also happy. Okay, we can do this, but okay, then we will have to compromise the other feature. So that understanding would be there. For that, your role is to manage everyone, and if possible, go for a win-win approach. But for that, you need to have the facts with you, and you need to have the options with you before you make any before you start any discussion with any sort of a stakeholder. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Sanjeewani. Yeah, that's really true. Like, it's like walking on eggshells sometimes, right? Handling these scenarios. Yeah, so let's go to the next question, guys. I think this is the golden question of the hour. So is the PM role is in danger? So this is like everyone is talking about, like, different roles are in danger, right? Software engineers talking about it, QAs are talking about it, like business analysts are talking about it. So but when it comes to PM, so what's the real situation? What you guys are predicting as like seniors in the industry, as like the professionals who have been walked down that path? So is PM role is in danger? I think, yeah, both of you, Gavin.
Yeah, if you're not changing, yes, of course. I think so that's where you need to have you need to learn new skills, and if you resist the change, then you don't have any chance in the industry, of course, because you always need to have the growth mindset. Change it is the change is expected, no? So everything is changing, and if you try to resist the change, and if you try to stick to whatever the things you have been doing earlier, that's not gonna work. So the people need to learn new things, and that's why that's how we evolve as a society as well, no? So in when it comes to these roles as well, you need to see how you can create your place. If things are changing, none of us have figured it out properly, so nowadays we are getting a lot of AI tools, and the organizations who are leading the market right now, they have their own competition as well. So we don't know what will happen in the future. Sometimes we will there will be drastic changes in the upcoming years. That can happen, but always we need to have the growth mindset, and we should be we need to learn new things. So as a practice, what I do is I always keep a track on daily updates in terms of the AI announcements and the AI tools. So that's something that you can do if you want to keep up with the changes happening in the all around, like in the world, obviously. So yes, you're in danger if you're not evolving. But if you try to figure out what you have to do, what are the skills you have to improve, and how you can fit into this change, so that's something that can save your role, no matter what the role you're playing at the moment. I think Sachith also will be able to share sort of ideas there.
Yeah. So I think all of you were listening to Sanjeevani's explanation about the life cycle, and not the life cycle, I think the evolution of the project management as a profession, as a trade, right? So there she explained, like earlier it used to be like a very administrative heavy sort of a profession, but now it's evolved more into like a strategic level. But so if you are in that first category, which is you are more of an administrative person, you are merely coordinating, right? Maybe you are communicating one thing that is said from one party to the other party, and then vice versa. You're doing maybe one thing, maybe sharing the meeting notes. You're doing small administrative tasks. Of course, those can get that particular roles will of course get changed, and that is something that is like without question. You see like how many tools we are using in this call today as well, right? Note takers, so many other tools that we're using. So that's why that particular administrative role is definitely going to change. That's without a doubt. But if you are someone who's strategic thinker, and if you know, because at the end of the day, you're working with humans, like as I always explain, right? So if you are if you know how to if you possess certain soft skills about who is the right person for this job, who is the person who is most capable, but there is a probability that it might fail or succeed. So those kind of analytical skills based on your understanding in previous experience is really important. Those are the kind of skills that are really hard to replicate, and those are the skills that AI, I think, will have a trouble in replicating as well. So I'm not sure, maybe the next by the next PM bootcamp, we might be having some AI bots or robots in the audience as well. That's the future, but that's fine, right? What we have to understand as a society is we are constantly developing, so we are constantly evolving. So when we embrace this change as a positive thing, which can augment, like for example, I'll give you some examples, right? So back in the day, I used to spend so much time writing down meeting notes, and also summarizing certain details, writing down and thinking emails, and then forgetting to attach the attachments, which everyone has done, and those kind of practical scenarios, and also sometimes thinking about how to do some research, like spending so much time searching about a customer, certain market segments, things like that. But now all of that, I do it within a couple of minutes. Within the first 30 minutes of the day, I can get everything done, because you can basically program an AI agent to do everything for you, right? So basically, basic tasks that you can do, that you or repetitive tasks you can automate. It's just like cleaning the house, right? Nobody likes to do chores around the house, but if you wherever you can automate, people would love to automate those things because that is out of your mind. Then you can focus on other things, right? Where you can maybe focus on some other new ideas and things like that. So basically, in my personal experience, these repetitive tasks have been automated, and that has allowed me to spend more time thinking about various other aspects, and also spend more time with my team, like maybe have one-on-one sessions with them more, and then trying to understand their personal issues, trying to understand where sometimes in a meeting, if they bring up certain points, you know where they're coming from. You know how to understand your customers as well as your team. So you can be very intimate with your team and your stakeholders, and that allows you to sort of enhance and augment yourself, sort of like gaining a superpower. And I think that's the same thing with any other professional that I meet also in my industry, especially the developers. They are able to produce so much with so less right now, and I've seen it happen in design and other areas as well. So to summarize, yes, you're in danger if you are a person who does merely repetitive tasks. No, if you are someone who is a strategic thinker and someone who is capable of using your analytical skills and this nice piece of machine that you have in your head, then you will succeed without a doubt.
Thank you, Sachith and Sanjeevani, for that information. Yeah, like we said and over, like AI won't be replacing you anytime soon, but someone will use AI will definitely replace you. So that's the trend we see across all the IT industries. Yes, Sanjeevani, you can go ahead.
Yeah, one more point I want to add there, Diliru. In most of the organizations right now, the project managers are in a transition period. Like they're trying to figure out how we can fit into there and what are the things that we have to do right now. So when we do, for example, when we create all these automation tools, let's say we are creating agents to speed up the work. So there also you need to have that strategic mindset. You need to have the overall picture. Without having the overall picture, you can't create a process, you can't automate a process. So that strategic mindset, like Sachith mentioned, that's why I wanted to highlight it. So right now, those who are working on improvements, process improvements, those who are creating agents, those who are creating automations, they get stand out, obviously, because that's the value addition we have right now. So going forward, more you have the strategic understanding, more you see the bigger picture, that will help you to incorporate with all the changes. So think bigger, and you can start smaller, but ultimately you need to have the bigger picture. No matter what the organization size is, if you are working for a startup company, then you have a greater chance of understanding the context and understanding the domain. But even if you are working for a corporate organization, they also see the business impact, look at the strategic level decisions, and look at the revenues that we are bringing as an organization. So have that mindset and see where you can improve the things. So that's one of the things, and there you need to have the thinking process. You need to use your brain, human brain. Then only we can get the support from AIs to make our work easier, and that will help eventually. That will help us to save the time and do all the work. So that's one thing I wanted to add there. Thank you.
Thanks, Sanjeevani. Yeah, so with that, I think we can go for the Q&A session then. So just a reminder, like guys, you can scan this QR and register for the project management bootcamp as well. Yeah, so now the time for QA. Yeah, so you guys can unmute your mics and ask any questions you want related to project management or the where the industry is headed. From Sanjeevani, Sachith, and Padula, and myself as well. Yeah, and if you want, you can use the chat, but I highly encourage you to like unmute your mics and yeah, shoot your questions. So while the audience get forming up, guys, I do have a question for the two project managers we have. So when it comes to like scoping the projects and like putting down the deadlines, are you guys considering AI as a factor now? So previously, basically, like when it comes to estimations and stuff, uh, you can take the individual capabilities and stuff and like those things into consideration. So at the moment, are you guys considering, okay, we are using Cloud Code, no Cursor, the tools you guys have been equipped with for the engineering team? Are you guys considering those factors as well?
Yeah, definitely we are considering that factor as well, because we can't use the same time. Like say that we are running Scrum, and we have our own velocity. We have a standard velocity for team. Then with the AI integration, so that could be changed, and all these factors should be considered. But then again, the project manager's role is not to directly calculate the estimations or anything. The role of the project manager is to get the collaboration from the experts. So you have to consult the SMEs, because you can't go and decide, okay, this is the time you have to spend. Now we are using this AI tool. You should be reducing the time. No, you can't take that decision. You don't have that power. You are a collaborator. You are a conductor. So you need to get the inputs from the SMEs, subject matter experts. So that build that collaboration, and then get their inputs on that efficiency improvements, and get their inputs on the timeline. So obviously that has become a factor right now in most of the development parts, but it depends on the organization to organization there, because when we talk about the project, because we have project-based companies and the product-based companies. In most of the product-based companies, they have their own enterprise level AI tools, and not many tools are incorporated into the way of working there. So it depends again, but in I have seen many organizations, we are of course integrating that as a factor, and also budgeting for the budgeting, like I said. So integrating AI, that means we have to consider that budget, that all these factors, the purchases we are doing, all these factors as well to the budgeting. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for that, Sanjeevani. And we do have a couple of questions in the chat as well, guys. Yeah, Tavis, you can unmute and ask your question as well.
Yeah, sure. Hi. So, as a beginner, would you recommend to start with a PM with the CAPM certification, or else PMP certification, or else after getting the experience, I can go with the certifications? What do you prefer?
So yeah, Sachith, is it okay if I go first?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So that's correct. Okay, to answer that question, so like I mentioned earlier, Project Management Institute, PMI Institute, is the most reputed organization we have, the body we have for the project management part. And the other important thing is their content. They evolve their content, and now if you look at the content they're sharing, so they have integrated more AI aspects into their study materials. So that's one part. And to answer your question, as a beginner, my recommendation is go ahead with the CAPM qualification, because that gives you a professional. That's a professional qualification, and that gives you the basic understanding about the project management, and that's a very I would say it's an advantage if you can get it done before you get into the field, because it does not need any prior experience for the CAPM. But if you want to get the PMP qualification, then you need to have at least 3 years of experience with 4 years bachelor's degree, that education background as well. So, but for you to start your career, I recommend CAPM qualification, because that's a well-reputed qualification as well. And when you add it to your CV as well, there is a chance to stand out as well, because that shows you have the project management understanding, and you know the concepts, the basic, at least the terminologies and everything. So yeah, my recommendation is, if you are a beginner, just go for it.
Yeah, and I think Ashen do have a question. So, can professionals who are in the industry can join project management bootcamp, or is it only intended for undergraduates? I think I can answer for that, Ashen. Yeah, you can definitely join, because it's not only intended for undergrads. Because we have developed the bootcamp in a manner so it will be help whether you are an undergraduate or a professional as well. So let's say you are like a career changer, or you are like a junior level professional, or in that case you need to have like a proper understanding in project management in some other area. Like if maybe you can be a software engineer, maybe you can be like a business analyst, but you need to have a project management. Like even for us as software engineers, project management is a really good skill set to have, because when you like move forward in the industry, when you come into the lead levels, it is sort of expected from you. So when you come to lead levels and the architect levels, nobody asks you to like go ahead and develop a feature, but you sort of you have to possess kind of project management skills in your skill set. Yeah, so it intended for professionals as well, Ashen. And we do have another question from Lakprabha. So how can interns or entry-level professionals use AI, and what should they follow to stand out in project management roles? I think that's a very good question. Sachith, Sanjeevani, you can go ahead and answer for that as well.
I'll let Sachith answer that since I answered the previous one.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Sanjeev. So basically, I think as interns or entry-level professionals, I think you should first understand. I feel like this is a question I used to ask before I came in, which is like. So I get asked the question whether should you start out as a PM intern is a question I used to get. But to that, I heavily disagree. I say, you shouldn't start out as a PM intern, because you have to first gain some sort of an understanding in one particular track. Let's say QA, BA, whatever specific industry knowledge, you should gain that. And then you have to get into project management. Why I say that is because project management is an area where you are working with multiple levels of people and different people working in different areas. So there the understanding where you get from one particular area is going to help you in understanding the day-to-day problems of people who are working in a project, right? So if you just directly jump into project management, it's not gonna be worthwhile in my particular experience. That's something I used to say before AI came in. So now that AI is here, how entry-level professionals can use AI is you can get your hands dirty, right? You can go to these freelancing platforms, and I think these internships, and I think we had a chat Diliru like a couple of months ago, like it has become very competitive now. So now how you can stand out especially is if you have that hands-on experience. So get your hands dirty, like maybe if a relative of yours is having an organization, and if they are facing any business issues, try to solve that using practical technical solutions. Maybe you can develop a small application, even a POS application or whatever it is, right? If your parents or someone is working for a government organization, don't go there. You will end up in a mess where you can't fix. But just kidding. So you can try to figure out where you can use your thinking and skills to iron out a certain solution, right? So if you are really passionate about in your particular industry, like for example, I am passionate about project management. How I see things around me is okay. If you see a TV, I see okay. To make this TV, you need these raw materials. To purchase these raw materials, you have to go to these suppliers, and then how you assemble the TV is like this. So that's how I'm passionate about. I want to know how things work and the behind the scenes how they work. So if you when you're really early on in your career, I say don't focus on one area. Try different things. You can try QA, you can try development, you can fail, you can learn, and then you can use AI to come up with certain solutions. If you are not able to come up with them, try that, and then with that, what you're going to learn is since you have tried and tested it, whether it's going to work or not in the future. But when you grow as a professional, you don't get the luxury of trying things out, because you have chosen a path and you're going down that path. So you can't change it. I mean, you can, but it will be really expensive. So the early on you change things and try out different things is going to be really helpful for you in the future. I am not an advocate of this practicing this exact model that I did, but what I did in the beginning is not to go. All of my friends were going to really big IT corporate companies and things like that. I did something different. I started out in a startup, right? So in the startup, as an intern, I was doing everything, right? I was running for different things, and apart from my intern role, which is in the business analytics side, I was doing project management. I was doing some type of development. I was doing product development. I have come up with some solutions which they are still using for enterprise customers. I'm really proud of that, right? Why? It's because I got my hands in different areas. So be an octopus, get your tentacles in wherever possible. Get things wrong. With AI, you can afford to go wrong, and sign up to these freelancing platforms. You can find many. I can't recommend any here, but it's, you do your own research and find out. Get those projects, do it. If you can't find projects there, ask someone right? Someone of your uncle or your auntie, or someone working in the government industry, try to solve that problem. Yeah, like for example, if you go to government office, you can see the inefficiencies from the moment you walk in. What are the inefficiencies in your mind. Map out how you can improve this, right? Maybe you can implement a QR code system, right? So think of ways to improve. And it's not about okay, you learn something, okay, I know everything, now I'm done. No, you have to be hungry for knowledge. You have to go out, seek that knowledge, and try to overcome grow in your particular field. So that's my advice. And if you are an intern and if you're starting out, I would recommend you to use your skills. And if you want to stand out, try the approaches that I told, which is get freelance projects, do them, put them in your CV. In the interviews also, I believe everyone here who has faced interviews and who has done interviews will say, now what everyone is asking is for practical project experience. So get that.
Yeah. Thanks, Sachith. And I think Sanjeevani should have something else to add as well.
Yeah, if we have time, I have a small thing to add. So it's all about the red car theory, actually. So if you start looking for opportunities, you will see the opportunities, like Sachith mentioned. So I'll share a bit about my personal experience as well. I also started as a BA initially. I entered to the industry as a BA. Then while I was working as a BA, same as Sachith, I joined a startup company, and there I played the QA role, dev role, because I'm coming from a computer science background, so I know the coding and all the things. So I used to do the coding, I used to do the QA, and I used to do the stakeholder management, everything I managed. So through that exposure only, I learned, and I got the knowledge. And also, when you have the exposure, then you realize what your passion is. Even though I joined as a BA initially, then I realized, okay, that's not my passion, because I got the exposure and I got the different kind of experiences. So through that, I was able to identify what my passion is. So as a fresher, like if you think that, okay, I want to do PM, and also I remember the first couple of comments we got. So I think one participant said that he is picking the project management because it's easy to do. No, if you think that it's easy to do, because in project management, you don't have responsibility through, because you don't want to do the coding, you don't want to do the QA testing, or you don't want to gather the requirements and everything. So you might think that, okay, that's an easy job. I just have to talk to a bunch of people and set the alignment. That's it. No. You have the accountability of your project. So you are the person who is accountable for the entire delivery, and this mind game that you have to play, because you'll realize it when you come to the management level. It's not an easy thing. So you have to be a decision maker. It's also a responsibility, and it takes a lot of effort to do the researchers and do the critical thinking. So it's not an easy job. You need to have the experience, because you are working with the people at the end of the day. So for you to take the right decision at the right time, you need to have the experience, because you should not be looking at a question in a one angle. You should have different perspectives on that. Then only you can look at a couple of options and pick the best one. So experience matters. And also in my early career, I talked to, since I wanted to get the experience, I talked to a couple of my friends, and they had their own startup companies. I went there and I volunteered. They didn't ask me to come and join. I didn't get paid as well. That was purely for me to get the experience. So if you are a fresher, if you want to get the exposure, talk to, like Sachith mentioned, talk to the people you know, and try to grab opportunities as much as possible. And also the networking. That's important, because you may have seen, if you are like if you have a LinkedIn profile, obviously that's one of the things. You need to create your own LinkedIn profile, and you need to maintain it properly as well, and get to know people through the LinkedIn. And there are so many networking events happening in this industry. So try to go to these events, and try to talk to people and get to know people. Try to volunteer to some of the activities or engagement activities they're doing. So it's not only about the skills, or it's not only about the knowledge. It's sometimes about the network as well. So build the network while you are getting the hands-on experience as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Sanjeevani. Yeah, so we do have a couple of more questions in the chat, guys. And before we go to that, it's a quick reminder, guys. If you haven't registered already, you can scan and register for the bootcamp. So you will be tapping into all this knowledge from this experienced instructors as well. It's just not going through a curriculum. So you have a chance to pick their brain, and again share their experiences with you, and know all the pitfalls and the shortcuts of the industry, and how you can become a successful project manager, and how you can add project management to your skill set as well. And we do have a couple of questions from Malshi. So undergraduates interested in project management, what should I start doing now to become a PM? And the second part of it is like some companies offer project management internships, but I'm unable to secure one. So what are the alternative career paths would you recommend eventually become a project manager? So I think we have like answered into some sorts, guys. But Sachith, Sanjeevani, if you guys have anything else to add, you can add as well.
I think I've answered this like partially in my answer, which is, if you are, my advice, my personally, but don't take this. I mean, if you are successful in some way, in other way, then go for it. But my personal experience and my personal opinion is you shouldn't start out as a PM, right? If you start out as a PM, PM is someone who sits in the middle around things that are moving around you really fast. If you are not able to figure out why those things are moving around you, then you're just going to get crushed. So what you should do first is you should master one particular area, whichever it is, right? Doesn't matter what. Maybe it can be BA, QA, development, whatever. try that out first. Even DevOps, right? Anything, networking, whatever that you feel like, right? You try that out as an intern, and then you figure out the inner workings of that particular area and try to specialize it to a certain level, right? Then you might realize whether this is something for you or not. If it is something that's meant for you, it will stay. You can continue that. Otherwise, you can always think, okay, now I am at a level where I am professional enough to manage other professionals. Then is the time that you should step into project management, because project management is a leadership based role. It shouldn't start out as a place where you play around with things, because things can can go wrong. So try to understand first about certain area. Where that has helped me is like now if I get a estimate from Diliru, I know exactly how much time it takes. I mean, not exactly, but to a certain extent. So I know how to validate it. It's because I have the previous experience. But if I would picture myself as a PM, starting out as a PM intern and then growing in that area, I wouldn't know. I would just have to listen to Diliru and try to accept it. I don't have any clue as to what's going on. It doesn't mean that I'm highly technical and I know everything, but I have good enough knowledge in certain areas to make educated guesses about certain things. So that's something that you should, because PM is all about sometimes going with your gut feeling. So as opposed to sometimes making analytical decisions as well. So that is a very important point. And the other point is about this project management internships and not being able to secure that. So I think I'll let Sanjeevani also add into the mix here.
What's the exact question?
Yes, Sanjay. So the question is, some companies are offering project management internships, but I am still unable to secure one. So what are the alternative career paths would you recommend to eventually become a project manager?
Yeah, so sometimes there are different roles. So we have the Scrum Master roles, and also we have the project coordinator roles and project assistant role. Likewise, look at the when you see a job post, look at the roles and responsibilities, and if it aligns with the project management part, if you are getting sort of an exposure there, then you can apply to these different kind of roles as well. Because when you join a Scrum, because in certain organizations they have a designation called Scrum Master as well. They do have a designated role apart from the project manager. So if you get into that path as well, then you can get the exposure. But given the situation, given the current situation, if you talk about the reality, of course, there is an issue. That's not only because of the AI trends, because we after the COVID, there were, if you look at the recruitment trend there happened, then we have exceeded the market in a kind of a way right now. But still there are opportunities, there are a lot of projects coming in, and if you can't secure a job in project management, direct job in project management path, then if you have a different set of skills, like let's say in your educational background you have done the software engineering, you have done MIS. Likewise, if you are coming from different educational backgrounds, try to seek opportunities in those particular areas. Then, like Sachith mentioned, try to get the experience. And when it comes to a level where you think that, okay, I'm ready, then let's go for the next opportunities. And always don't stick to one option right now. Look for multiple options, and if you want to stand out, then you will have to gain more knowledge as well, if possible, like through these boot camp series also. when it comes to these kind of programs also, you can get sort of understanding about the project management, and that also would be an added advantage for you to stand out. But I can't recommend any options like that. If you are not getting a BA, if you are not able to secure a direct project management role, look for the alternative roles like coordinators, scrum masters, assistant role. And if that is also not possible, try for options from your academic background. If you are coming from a QA background, then apply for the jobs in that pathway, or else SC. So look for different approaches in that case.
I would like to take the next question, which is about the MIS undergraduate interested in PM. So there she's asking whether it's possible to go for program assistant in the government sector. So I think that's, I mean, like I mentioned, so try whatever if it's a very early stage, right? So try whatever. Then you will understand the inner workings of how certain organizations work. Like, for example, government is a field in itself. So try to understand what are the limitations. Firsthand, you will get exposure on how things can improve. So that likewise. So in my experience, although working with certain government organizations and government projects, there are limited. There were certain limitations, right? The knowledge gap was very visible. And the reluctance, there is a resistance to change within government organizations. Those kind of challenges are there. But if you are someone who is persistent, if you are someone who can tackle those, go for it. That's something that you can figure out, and then later you can understand whether to move to a different area or not.
Yeah, thank you, Sachith. And we do have another couple of questions. So I think first one is BA good for do an internship rather than doing PM? Interesting question. So yeah, Sanjeevani, Sachith.
Yeah, I think if you have that opportunity, go for it. Don't wait until you get the perfect opportunity. Sometimes the perfect opportunity, the one that you think as the perfect opportunity, might not be the perfect opportunity at the end of the day. So if you are getting an opportunity right now, try to secure that opportunity and try to see how you can create your own path through that. So don't miss the opportunities. And to answer that specific question, yeah, if you have that opportunity, go for it. And to answer the next question, so if I land on another role like BA, QA, then after that, how can I switch to PM? Okay, so through my experience, I'll answer that question. So I told you that I started as a BA, then I worked as a BA for 3 years. Then I wanted to move into PM because I figured out, okay, PM is the role that I passionate about, and then that's the role I want to continue in my corporate life. So what I did was I did my own research, and if I want to move into the project management, I need to show my knowledge on project management. And then but in terms of the experience, I have gained the project management experience while working as a BA. So I built my own career, my own path through the exposure I had earlier. But what I missed at that point was the educational background, because I was coming from a computer science background. Then in terms of the designation, I had the BA, but I don't have any project management qualifications to get entered into the get a job as a project manager. So that was the issue. Then what I did was I gained all the professional qualifications required for the project management. So the PMP qualification, then I can recommend all these qualifications without any doubt, because those are the things, those are the most established qualifications we have in global recognized qualifications. So the things I did was I gained the project management knowledge and then I showed them, okay, this is what I have done, and I tried to connect my previous experience into the project management experience. So while I was working as a BA, I collaborated with teams, I ran the scrum meetings, and then I talked to the business stakeholders. So I did the risk management part. So even though I didn't have the title, I did everything. So when I go to the interview, when I pitch myself, I connected all these experience into the project management experience. And the other thing is, I have gained the educational background as well by fulfilling all the professional qualifications. So if you want to switch the role, first try to gain project management experience during that time period playing your role, but try to get that exposure. And the other thing is, try to build your own profile by completing by getting the educational qualification as well. So for you to switch the job, educational background and the experience, both are matters, both goes in hand in hand.
Thank you, Sanjeevani. Yeah, guys. So I think that answers all the questions. If you do have any more questions, guys, please do put them in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask. I think we can spare around another 5 minutes. So it has almost like half an hour past the scheduled time, but we can still spend some time if you guys have any more questions, guys.
Diliru, I would like to, since there are undergraduates as well, and I voluntarily extend my time to motivate undergraduates to enter into the industry and try to show them the things that they might not be may not have the opportunity to experience. So here, what I would like to say is what I have learned over the years is if you're doing something, you have to love it, right? So like I explained earlier, and when Sanjeevani and I explained certain things, all of you might have seen, we are explaining that with a smile on our face. That's because we have so much passion and love towards what we are doing, right? But I have come across some professionals in industry and outside of workplace, or they're just doing it to get the paycheck, right? They think, okay, software engineering is something that's really that gives you a lot of money, so you go and do it, right? That's not what passion is. So you have to understand if you are doing something, you have to learn how to do it. Like software engineers do that. Why, if you look at the personal traits of software engineers, why they do a lot of things, it's because they love problem solving, right? They might be, when they were small, they might be tinkering with certain things in the house and trying to build certain things. So if you look at a project manager, they might try to make one pregnant woman deliver 3 babies, something. I'm just kidding. So likewise, there are certain things that you can you have to be passionate about certain things. Like, for example, I'm a project manager. Me being in the industry of project management and business analysis, what I have realized is I love certain to find out the inner workings of certain things and try to understand how certain decisions end up being developed into fully fledged projects. Like, if just look around, if you take a airplane, look how it's built, right? If you take a software application, look how it's break it down into small pieces and try to understand how it works. So those are the things that you should know. You should have that curiosity. And also, to answer that previous question about BA and PM, try to do a personality analysis on yourself. BA people who are BAs generally are very curious people. Their personality mindset is about making things, not breaking things. They are all about being curious. How does that work? Why does this work like that? Likewise, they are very curious. PMs, they love to keep track of things, and they like to stay structured, very organized kind of people. And if you are working in an area where it's against your personality trait, over time you're just gonna get burned out. That's my advice. And the other very most important advice I give to everyone, especially young professionals, is have fun, right? So if you are working as an intern, that's the best time I have had. we used to eat kottu at after software releases at night. Those are the amazing times that you can have. You get to meet a lot of people. Still, some of those people are friends with me. So we continue that experience. I am sure everyone else here also can relate to the same, right? So have fun. Try to be as enthusiastically mischievous as possible in your area of work, and try to figure out things how they work and be passionate about it. So that's something that I would say. Have fun and be curious and understand your personality trait.
Thanks, Ajit. Like, that's been a lot. And Shavin, do you have another question? Can you recommend some of best qualifications to have as a PM, the most requested or and recognized in the industry? I think Sachith, Sanjeevani, you can go ahead and answer for that as well.
Sanjeevani, I think,
Okay.
is the best person to answer this here.
All right, yeah. So if you are a fresh graduate, if you don't have prior experience, like I mentioned, CAPM would be the best qualification for you to get the professional experience on project management. That's directly connected with the project management. But again, we have the Scrum Master certifications as well. And when you take these certifications, try to take it from well-established companies, because when you say Scrum qualifications also, there are tons of certifications issued by a lot of organizations if you look around. So don't try to do everything. Try do your own research and figure out. If you don't have any idea, ask from the experts as well. Get an idea. In my recommendation, just to give you a direct answer there, Scrum certifications issued by the Scrum Alliance. We have the CSM qualification that's mainly connected with the project management part of our responsibilities. And also, if you are confused with between the CSM qualification and CSPO qualification. So if you are a person who wants to focus more on the product side, like the BA side, then the CSPO would be the best part. But when it comes to the project management part, CSM would be the best one. And directly to the project management, it would be the CAPM qualification issued by the PMI organization. And also, when it comes to the practical exposures, you can join the boot camps as well, and also some of the courses that delivers the practical exposure. So that also a possible option. But industrial recognized one, I would say CAPM and the CSM qualification for now. And also there are other qualifications, but I will stick only to those two.
Thank you, Sanjeevani. Yeah, guys, if you do have any more questions, you can just put in the chat or unmute yourself and ask. If not, I think we can wrap up the session. It has been already a bit longer session than expected, but I think I hope you guys have a good time and get a lot of inner knowledge about project management and how the project management have been evolved over like couple of months, actually, like with these AI tools and all. And also, like when the main thing is like when you like think about it, the things Sachith and Sanjeevani said, like they love what they do, right? So they speak about project management with a smile on their faces. So that's the main thing. So you have to have fun when you have to become a project manager, and you have to love what you do as well. Yeah, and yeah, thank you.
You can't complain about time, Diliru, because when you put people who talk for a living into a session, it's like expected.
We haven't taken that to fact. Yeah, but yeah, thank you very much, guys, and thank you, Sanjeevani, thank you, Sachith, very much for your contribution for this webinar. You have spent your valuable time with us and with these beginners and the industry professionals. I think you have gained like immense knowledge about the project management and all the industry standards and all. Thanks again for your time, Sachith, Sanjeevani. Thank you very much for spending time with us and sharing your valuable experience with our participants. And also, thank you for joining, guys, and spending all this time with us. And hope you gained a lot of knowledge and some interesting facts about project management. And yeah, hope you become great professionals in project management and add professional like project management to your skill set as well. All right, thanks again, guys. And yeah, I think if you do have any feedbacks, you can like scan this QR and send us about your feedbacks regarding the session, so we can have those inputs and improve our sessions as well. Yeah, thanks for joining, guys. Yeah, hope you have a good day, and thanks again, guys.
Thank you, everyone, and see you in the industry.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, everyone. Hope everyone got something out of this, and hope to see you all, in the industry in the future.
Thanks, Sachith. Thanks, Sanjeevani, again. And
Thank
thank
you.
you all, guys, for joining for this session.
Bye.
All right, have a good day.
Take care, everyone. Bye.